welcome back. Well, there are a lot of different facets to being someone's partner. You're their supporter, their teammate, maybe their counsellor, definitely their lover. But should you ever play the role of critic? While it's commonly said honesty is the best policy, when it comes to constructive criticism, how necessary is it to be truthful 100% of the time and point out shortcomings? For today's agenda, I'm joined by Shelly Horton from 9 Honey and relationship expert Melissa Ferrari. Good morning, welcome to you both.
Good morning.
You just sighed, a very deep sigh, Shelly Horton. What's that about?
I don't like criticism. I feel with my job, I get enough criticism online from complete strangers. When I'm in my own home, I want my husband to be supporting me. I want him to have my back and I will have his back.
But hang on a second. We know in the home, when it comes from your gorgeous husband, that it's always going to be positive. It's not nasty or ill-intentioned.
Criticism.
But it's constructive.
I don't think it's that constructive. Okay, perfect example. Early on in our relationship, he made a bit of a comment about my weight, which is a red flag for me, and I just went into a shame spiral and ended up eating more, and it was just a disaster. What we've learnt is the way to handle it is like, hey, we should get a personal trainer together.
And you did.
And we did.
Look at what happened.
I know, but it's one of those things where I don't want that constructive criticism from him. I want it to be more that we do something together. That's the way that and we've learnt that about each other.
OK. Melissa, you're the expert. Is it ever OK to give a partner constructive criticism?
I think that you need to define the difference between a complaint and a criticism. Criticism is actually when you are attacking someone in a way that's about who they are, their spirit. You know, that example that you give there is great because you guys have been able to work through that because of the spiral you're talking about. And then more of a complaint would be something like, an example of a complaint might be, it scared me when you were late the other night and you didn't make it in time. Whereas a criticism would be, you're always late and I'm tired of it, and kind of like a who you are upsets me. So I think what's important is to be able to define the difference. But what I do think in a relationship, you do need to be able to air your differences. You do need to be able to say something where your partner might be doing something that's harming not only themselves but possibly both of you in their behaviour. And so it's really about setting up a relationship where you can start to do that in a secure kind of way.
OK, so it's about how you deliver the message. But my thought also would be, Shelly, if your partner, the person who loves and knows you the most, can't tell you something, who can?
No, I could not disagree more. The rational part of my brain understands where you're coming from and what you're saying, but I just do not want that from my partner.
Now, I don't want to ask you to lie down on the couch or anything.
It's a bit
However,
like
where does this stem from? Why are you so sensitive to it?
I think my past relationships, there was a lot of criticism, and so I don't want to repeat that pattern. And also, my husband's awesome. I love him. We have a brilliant relationship. Why mess with it? Why mess with it by trying to pick things apart and make things different?
Because I'm playing devil's advocate.
Because, yes, of course you are.
Because everything isn't 100% perfect.
No, and trust me, I am told constantly that it's not perfect by other people. I don't want to hear it in my home.
So how much credence do you pay to other people?
I'm trying to less and less. Trying.
Melissa, I reckon I'm going to do your job here. I think this is more about...
You're ganging up on me, guys.
No, not ganging up. We're solving things for you. I think this is more about being sensitive to the outside world as opposed to what's coming from the man who loves and cares for her more than anyone.
Well, that's right. Because you've got a great relationship, and I know that you do, you two do, I believe, have the security that really, if there was something that he needed to say to you, something like, let's say, Shelly, you're out in public and you're overstepping the mark by talking over everybody.
Me?
And people...
Very close to the bone, Melissa.
Right? A partner who can say, hey, Shell, you know, I love you and I adore you, but just, you know, maybe tone it down just a little for me, sweetheart, with love in his eyes.
He wouldn't.
And, well, I think it's the delivery, you know, and that's a different way of approaching it, because that actually not only affects you, but it affects both of you as well. And protecting the system's important because sometimes we do stuff that affects our partner as well, and maybe it does need to be addressed.
So here's a question. Is it detrimental not to be able to say exactly how you're feeling?
I think it is, because what happens is we can feel threatened if we don't know what's going on for our partner. If we don't know that our partner is going to have our back and tell us what's going on, well, then we can start to think, gee, he's never very honest with me, or she doesn't tell me what she thinks. And so that can create a different problem, because it's actually shutting things down. And I'm one for leaving things open, being relational in that respect, and working out how to say, hey, I've got your back, but maybe we need to look at this.
Shelley, if you've... I think she's taking this on board.
Look, I'm very sensitive, yes.
When it comes to you needing to tell Darren something...
Yeah.
...that might be a little bit tricky for him to... It might be a little unpalatable. How do you go with that?
I always think of it...
Sorry, I can see this is a bit sensitive.
No, I'm fine. I actually always think about how would I like to hear it.
Which is lovely.
So I really try and err on the side of being very empathetic and making sure that it's not going to upset him or anything like that. But honestly, we don't have that many problems in a relationship that we need to make criticism, so I'm kind of happy. So I don't feel like I'm shutting it down and not being honest. I just feel like we're being supportive and we're united against everyone else.
But I think, is the question not, though, that you can be empathetic and still be sensitive, but give helpful advice?
Absolutely, but I think, though, Georgie, not everybody's good at that, you know? This stuff's really hard. What we're talking
That's
about...
why we need you.
...is navigating areas around relationship. You know, we're actually primed to go to the negative in our brain.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you can imagine we're all walking through life and going to that place first. And so, naturally, this is really, really difficult. And, you know, everyone sort of says to me, I romanticise and I love love. I actually think relationships are the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And this kind of stuff, you know, this is not a light subject. This is going on in all families and households every single day.
I also think that you know when you're not doing the right thing, or if you're not looking after yourself, or if you're talking over people, you know that. So do you need someone to tell you? I think if you look in the mirror, you'd get those answers straight away.
Well, I think, Shelley, you know it, but I don't know, not everybody always does.
Yeah. It's a really interesting topic, and I'd love to continue, but we're out of time.
Of course.
But good tips, and
I'm going to go home and have a lovely time with my husband.
It's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's wonderful. And you both look beautiful.
Thanks, Georgie.
Have a lovely weekend. Over to you, Deb.
What a terrific chat. Let's do some more of it, definitely. Thank you.